Hola. So, this is my second video. Um, for those of you that saw my first video, I've been tracking my progress, um, my healing here in Peru and in general. Um, I have Lyme disease, so that's mainly what I'm healing. Um, in my last video, I think I went over a little bit of my history leading up till today, and I think I got up until my diagnosis, and then kind of trailed off there. Um, so in this video, I guess I will go over um, just the specifics of the protocol that I've been on, and the diet, and just some things that have been going on recently. In my last video, I was very sick to the stomach. Um, as I mentioned, I've just broke a very long fast, 114 days, um, just about 4 weeks ago now. Um, and I was thinking that my stomach was messed up from certain foods that I had eaten, and I definitely had eaten some foods that I shouldn't have. But what I have found out since is that um, I got giardia out here. I'm pretty sure after eating sushi this one day, the seventh day of breaking my fast. So it's actually kind of a relief to me. It was really bad for a while, but just knowing that I'm not that sensitive, that the reason my stomach was and body was reacting so strongly was not just from eating, but from parasite. So um, what I've been doing to treat the giardia is 6 cloves of raw garlic a day, what is known here as the Master Tonic. I sell it at a few stores around here. It's right here. I'm doing the video in the kitchen this time because there's nowhere else in the house where you can see me. Let's see. Master Tonic. Anyways. Yeah, it says use against colds, flu, internal parasites, food poisoning, yeast, fungal infections, high blood pressure, lethargy, diarrhea, and bad intestinal flora. And then it also says used for stimulating blood circulation, clearing lungs and sinuses, relieving headaches, improving the immune system, detoxifying the body, and preventing future infections. Powerful and spicy antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, antiparasitic, and probiotic preventive remedy for a wide range of short and long-term infections and ailments, suitable for all ages. So what's in here? It's an ancient recipe using a selection of spicy vegetables soaked in apple vinegar until the raw medicinal properties are extracted and preserved. The potent liquid is then filtered, checked, bottled, and ready for use. The remaining pickled, spicy vegetables are dried, ground, and blended with other fine, natural ingredients to create master spice, natural flavoring. Just bought, sold separately. I just bought that today, actually. The master spice, which is like the same thing but ground spices. And this is in apple cider vinegar. So, anyways, I put some of this stuff on my curry tonight, and it kind of ruined the flavor. So I won't be doing that again. But it should be good in some dishes. Besides those two things, the garlic, 6 cloves a day, the Master Tonic, 2 tablespoons 3 times a day. Although lately I've just been kind of drinking it out of the bottle. I like it. I like the taste. It's spicy. And then I'm also on Parasite G through M. It's a formula made by this guy Gino. Sells herbs from Canada. Um, this bottle doesn't have the ingredients. It's I'd have to go fish it out, but it is a bunch of herbs, like 10 to 20, wormwood, worm seed. I can't remember. Just a bunch of parasite herbs, all in one formula. So that's what I've been doing for the Giardia, along with my normal protocol, which is all these herbs here, which maybe I'll go over in this video or maybe another one. Oh man, forgive me, I'm really tired and foggy, but I wanted to make the video. And then in terms of diet for the Giardia, ideally, although I haven't stuck to it perfectly, but for the most part, nothing but juices, teas, and soups, and I think fruit is okay too. Which isn't too far off of the diet I'm on right now for my general protocol, which is fruit, fruit or fruit juices for breakfast, and then like fruit or salad or both for lunch, and then for dinner, fruit or salad, soup, some quinoa, and maybe steamed vegetables, and that's about it. So what I've been doing for dinner is making a lot of soups here, which are really good. They sell these little packets of cut up vegetables. I got here. Oh, well, this is broccoli. And it's just like cut up carrots, celery, spinach, these yellow things. Yeah, veggies. So I was making some soups, cut up like an onion, put some quinoa in there, some spices. It took me a while to figure out the spices. Kept messing it up, but now I got it down. It's top-notch soup. That, or I made a few curries with quinoa and coconut milk, which turned out pretty good. I have some tweaking to do for the recipes. Ashtray. Been smoking this jungle tobacco they have here. I bought. It's called Mapacho. It's used a lot in ceremonies around here in shamanism and Amazonian shamanism. But I bought this huge log of it, so I just cut off the end and then grind it up. It's good. I like it. It's not part of the protocol or anything, but you know, it slows down the detox a little bit, but I enjoy it. Let's see, what was I talking about here? So, going back to my story, we can get through this, and then I can just focus on the here and now as how things are going. So after my diagnosis, I spent the first 6 months working with a naturopath, the one that diagnosed me, and she wanted to do a candida cleanse and a heavy metal cleanse before starting treating Lyme, which I don't agree with now. It's all the same thing, you know, you're just healing your body. I don't know, I feel like you just got to do it all at once. But so she had me on a couple candida supplements and a diet pretty much, and the diet was meat and vegetables, no grains, no fruit. You know, she's working under the paradigm that fruit feeds candida. So I did that, and to be honest, I got a lot of joint pain. Like as soon as I started working with her, um, I could barely walk. Like I needed a wheelchair to get around sometimes, or just something to sit in if I couldn't stand in the kitchen to cook, or I needed it somewhat. And uh, so that didn't get me very far. If anything, I got worse from that. And that went on for 6 months. And then, and she had me on some multi mineral supplements and some other basic things that I don't know. I don't think they were helping too much. And then, so I had planned on not working with her long term from the beginning, but I figured since she diagnosed me, I'll see what she can do with me. Just start there. And then I started working with an herbalist who lives here in Pisac, Peru, who was overseeing a friend of mine's um, healing of Lyme when I was in Peru the first time, who I met and introduced me to Lyme. And a therapist that I had been working with is a friend of hers, and also she passed me on to her as well. So then when I started working with her, I started healing um, under Dr. Morse is a guy who she follows and uses his healing modality, his uh, philosophy and perspective, which is a fruitarian lifestyle and herbalism, pretty much. So, what I did, what his philosophy is, which is, anyways, is that, and it's, I mean, I believe that it's true for the most part, at least. Um, you know, when all illness is pretty much just acidosis of the body, just a buildup of toxins in the body, which are all acidic, and a lot of foods are acidic. And when we eat these foods and um, acquire these toxins in our body from our lifestyle or environmental toxins, the world is super polluted nowadays. There's poison in the tap water and the food. We live in a not an ideal world at all. So basically, all proteins are acidic, all grains are acidic. So to get these acids out of the body, you got to stop eating anything that's acidic. So grains, meat, beans, nuts, seeds, um, basically anything other than fruits and vegetables are somewhat acidic to very acidic. Alcohol and coffee are very acidic. Um, so, anyways, what I did, and then there's different stages of detox too. So, like dry fasting, going without food or water, is the most intense detox you can do. The acids will just start pouring out of your body. Then water fasting, and then fruit juice fasting, and then eating fruit, and then green vegetable juices, and then eating vegetables. So if you're eating fruit and vegetables, you won't go to as deep of a detox. You will plateau, so to speak, as if you were eating just fruit. That would take you to the deepest detox while still eating. So I went uh, vegan. I cut out all animal products initially, and then within like a week or two, within 3 weeks, I was on all fruit. And then I, slowly cut out the nuts and the seeds, then the veggies, and then very quickly I was on an all fruit diet. Um, Plus many herbs that I was taking that my herbalist had designed for me, a protocol. So I did about 2 months of that before phasing into the fast, the master fast, which was the grape juice and lemon with the intermittent dry fasting, uh, which I did a few 24-hour ones, one like 36 or something, and then one 72-hour dry fast towards the end of the first 80 days. And then I quit the master fast, but was still fasting on fruit juices when I got to Peru, which is day 80, and finished off like that, with mainly a juice of mandarin, passion fruit, and lime. And now I always put aloe vera in it. I still drink a lot of juice, even though I'm not fasting. I fast like half days a lot and stuff like that, especially if I ate a big dinner. So, um, in terms of the herbs, the main ones that are important um, in terms of the detox are the kidney herbs and the lymphatic herbs. So basically, um, the lymphatic system is a vascular system in the body, like the blood. Just a bunch of tubes. There's lymphatic vessels in every cell of your body, and this is what where all these foods I should mention: the grains, the meats, um, the proteins, the nuts, the seeds, the beans. They're all mucus forming, so they cause a buildup of mucus in the body, make you congested, make you tight, hunched over, just not feeling good in general. So all of those acids, the mucus, the acids, the toxins, get deposited into the lymphatic system, which is then filtered through the kidneys and out through the urine. Or if your kidneys aren't filtering, your kidneys aren't working well, it'll come out through the skin. And that causes acne and skin problems. The skin is known as the third kidney. Okay? And my kidneys were not filtering a few months ago when I started all this. Now last time I checked, they were. After my 3-day dry fast is what got them filtering. Dry fasting is very good at getting the kidneys filtering, which just means that the waste from your lymphatic system is actually coming out through the kidneys. So you can take a test by urinating in a jar first thing in the morning and then checking it a few hours later. And what you want to see is some sediment at the bottom of the jar, like some sandy white stuff. And that means that stuff is coming out of your kidneys, which is good. But what I was seeing, and what you will see if your kidneys are not working properly, not filtering, is just clear liquid, nothing in it. It might be like yellow or brown, but clear, no sediment, and that means you have some detoxification to do. So the kidney herbs are very important for flushing out for the kidneys, for getting all of this waste that's being dumped into the lymphatic system. It's probably already full of toxins. To keep that moving out of the body. And then the lymphatic herbs are good for keeping the lymphatic system moving, because unlike the blood, the lymph, it doesn't really move on its own unless you're taking herbs or physically, like doing yoga or some sort of physical movement. A lot of people do rebounding, which is like jumping on one of those little mini kids trampoline. So the lymphatic herbs, and then liver herb, supporting all the organs of detoxification. So the liver, the lymph, the kidneys, and the bowels. I'm on a formula for all of those, plus many more. I'll just briefly go over what's here, because it hasn't changed all that much over the course. I mean, it's generally the same idea. So, what's here? Healthy circulation, upper body. Oh, this is a different bottle, but what I'm thinking now is upper and lower body. So, keep the blood moving. It's important. Parasite formula. Eleuthero, which is a adrenal herb used a lot in traditional Chinese medicine. The Russians actually had their astronauts take Eleuthero. The Russians have done tons of studies on it. A lot of like I think their Olympic athletes take Eleuthero. It's a longevity herb, supports the adrenal glands, which are very important for stress, mediating the stress response, the fight or flight response. What it does is these adrenal herbs, known as a lot of them are adaptogens, herbs that help the body adapt to stress. They modulate the HPA axis, which is the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. Um, Anyways, they keep your cortisol levels from going too high or too low, so they kind of keep you balanced, which is very important for healing and for rest and energy, and they're very useful herbs for modern lifestyles. Um, and the adrenal glands, the whole endocrine system, but especially the adrenal glands is it's tied into the nervous system and the immune system. All these systems of the body are very interrelated. So if you want to heal, it's very important to address all of these bodily systems. Okay, this is cordyceps mushroom. This is a mushroom that actually grows out of the back of caterpillars in China. Although I doubt that stuff is very expensive, but they make it kind of like not synthetic, but grow cultures in labs that mimic the mushroom. And this is also an adrenal herb. It supports in traditional Chinese medicine, it supports the yin jing and the yang jing. Yin being feminine, yang being masculine. Your yin, your left kidney or adrenal gland, yang, the right kidney or adrenal gland. And it's also very good for the immune system, as is Eleuthero. Cordyceps and most medicinal mushrooms, I think all of them actually, are immune system modulators. So they're adaptogens for the immune system as well as the adrenal glands for this one. Lymphatic system tonic, a bunch of lymphatic herbs, moves the lymph, as I was saying. Pituitary formula, this one has, I could read some of the, oh no, this one's not over here, but I know it has alfalfa in it, foti or hushuwu, I don't know, more herbs. I'd have to get the big refill bottle. The bowel blaster moves the bowels. Cascara sagrada bark, fennel. Oh, I got it right here. I know it's marshmallow. Cascara bark, plantain leaf, slippery elm bark, marshmallow root, fenugreek seed, white pond lily root, Irish moss, bistort root, bayberry bark, mullein leaf, cap aloe, aloe vera, ginger root, cinnamon bark, acerola, cherry. So that moves the bowels. Take that twice a day. Brain and nervous system tonic. It's a lot of brain herbs, nervine herbs. Gotu kola, skullcap, ginkgo, eleuthero, schizandra, astragalus, hushuwu, butcher's broom, cayenne. So that one is for the brain and the nerves, obviously. It remyelinates the nerves. There's like a fatty layer known as the myelin sheath which coats the nerves. It's kind of like if you would imagine like an electrical wire, and with like the black casing around it, and so nerves transmit impulses from one nerve to the other, and the myelin sheath is kind of coating that transmission to something like that. Liver tonic. I know it's got milk thistle, turmeric. What's that other Chinese one? It's over here somewhere. There we go. So these are the big refill bottles. Liver and gallbladder. Milk thistle, burdock, dandelion, shatavari root, bayberry root, schizandra berry, turmeric root, cleaver's herb, yellow dock root, blue perum root, prickly ash bark. All of his formulas have prickly ash bark in them, I've noticed. And chastry berry, a lot of them. Never even really heard of those herbs too much. Fo tea, also known as Hushu Wu. This is an adrenal herb. Um, it's very good for the male reproductive system. It's aphrodisiac, um, but mainly adrenals. This is in Chinese medicine, yin jing. So the feminine jing is like your primordial essence, your life force. And there's jing, qi, and shen. So if you imagine like a candle, maybe this is the flame right here. Jing is down here, and then qi is like the movement of energy, like taking that primordial life force and putting it into action. So if you don't have jing, you don't really have any qi. And then shen at the top would be like the flame, or like the aura around the flame. Like the flame would be the qi, the waxy candle part would be the jing, and then the aura around the flame would be the shen, which is like your spiritual um, purpose, being connection to spirit, basically. So Fo tea is a very revered herb in Chinese medicine. I've been always taking a lot of it. I just lowered the dose. I'm only taking it at night now. So like the yin feminine energy is more calming, grounding, um, for rest, like inactivity. So Fo tea is good for people that need to rest, need to recover. Um, More yang herbs are more active, like eleuthero, the other adrenal herb I take, is more yang, more energetic. But they both build energy over time. Kidney, this is kidney 4. I have a bunch of kidney formulas here. I've been doing one than the other, and so that's for the kidneys. Let's see what herbs are in the kidney one. Oh, I'm so tired. Here's kidney 1. Whatever. Dandelion leaf, corn silk, juniper berries, goldenrod herb, couchgrass root, parsley leaf, horsetail grass, nettle leaf, cordyceps mushroom. For anyone that just wants like do something simple for the kidneys, I would do nettle infusions. Nettle is a really good herb. You can make very strong teas, what they call infusions, and it's really nutritive too, really high in vitamins and minerals, and chlorophyll is very green. It's good for the kidneys, but also the adrenals, and a lot of things. It's got a lot of properties. It's kind of like one of those heal-all herbs. Adrenal glands. So the adrenals are very important to support. This is a formula. This one is not a single herb, and it's right over here, I think. Here we go. Shastri berry, cleaver's herb, dandelion root and leaf, eleuthero root, Fo tea root, holy basil, kelp, juniper berry, parsley whole, rhodiola root, saw palmetto berry, wild yam root. So those are all kidney herbs. A lot of them have adrenal herbs. A lot of them have other properties. You can see they overlap. A lot of these formulas have the same herbs in them. This is a mix that I made of bacopa and lion's mane mushroom, which are both brain herbs and support the remyelination of the nerves. Bacopa is known as a Brahmi in Ayurvedic medicine, which is an herb that expands consciousness, awareness, presence, like a meditation herb, you could say. Supports the brain, mental functioning. They would have kids take bacopa in school, and they've done studies that it enhanced their learning capacity, their memory recall, and it, scientifically, it supports the neurons in the brain, creating new neural connections. Same with lion's mane, it's very similar. Supports the myelin sheath. There's something called nerve growth factor, which is, I don't know, there's another thing in the brain called BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. I think NGF is one of these, like a subset of BDNF. Anyways, it doesn't really matter, but NGF stands for nerve growth factor, so it supports the growth of new nerves, and my nervous system is really messed up from neurological Lyme disease. So it's really important that I take these nerve healing herbs. Um, and I was taking another more like calming nervines. Bacopa is pretty calming. Bacopa is also a very good antidepressant. It increases neurotransmitters in the brain. Um, but there's some other herbs I was taking. I take them on an as-needed basis now because my nerves have healed quite a bit, so I don't need them as much. But it was skullcap, American skullcap, and milky oats, which milky oats are known as food for the nerves. They're just really high in mineral. It's really high in minerals like uh, magnesium and what's the one I'm thinking of? It's like kind of an odd one, like silica or something like that. Um, but you know, I still take it when I feel like I need to calm down, but it's out of the like daily morning breakfast routine, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I mean, it's a pear. It's pretty good. Got the market here. All right, then. Lately, I just started this. It's a parathyroid glandular, which the parathyroid supports like calcium absorption. Some other things too, probably. And then, so I'm taking a bone connective tissue formula along with it to help strengthen my bones, bring calcium into my body. This is another lymphatic system 4. I'm on 2 lymph formulas, and then this is just a bottle of empty capsules I use. Oh, and then here I fill these. This is Japanese knotweed. This is a herb, Stephen Bunner. It's one of the main herbs in his Lyme protocol. He's the most notable herbalist for treating Lyme disease. And then so Eleuthero, which I mentioned for the adrenals, and cordyceps are also part of his protocol. The rest are not, just other formulas. I got them all from Gino that are just to support the detox, basically. All right, where's my herbs? So, the hell was I talking about? So yeah, I finished the fast about a month ago, and I got a decent amount better on the fast. Like my whole body was very tight and constricted, and like hardened muscles, hunchback, like an old man. And by clearing out all that lymph, I still have more to go, but the body starts to loosen up, because these acids are what cause inflammation. And I got very skinny. I got down to almost 100 pounds, 103, I think is my lowest. 97 after my dry fast, but a lot of that was water weight. But in general, I made a lot of progress, and I'm still continuing to progress in this month since breaking it. I got a ton of mucoid plaque out of my intestines, which is this mucus that builds up in your intestinal walls. You would not believe what is inside of you if you've been eating anything but a perfectly clean diet. So you take a clay, psyllium, and charcoal mix, which are binders, which absorb toxins and mucus and stuff, and that pulls on this mucus, latches onto it and pulls it out of you. And I got huge pieces of black rubbery mucus out of me. I got a huge piece out today, like thick, hard, nasty stuff. I'm not even fasting anymore. I'm just eating a pretty clean diet, but I'm still taking the charcoal mix. It's called the pudding. So yeah, things have been getting better from doing this. All I'm doing is diet that I've described, fasting, and herbs. And I also do a lot of infusions with nutritive herbs, which are very strong teas. Basically, you take like an ounce of herb, steep it in boiling water overnight, and like herbs that are just packed with vitamins and minerals, like nettle, like I mentioned earlier, oat straw, which there's a nervine I mentioned earlier, alfalfa, marshmallow root, um, red clover blossoms are good, although I haven't even tried those. Don't have them here. What else? There's more. Marshmallow. Comfrey is a really good one. Um, if you read about Comfrey online, there's a lot of scare around it. Saying that it has this toxin in it that it's gonna fuck you up. It's all bullshit. It's just the medical community trying to scare you away from natural things that can heal a lot of shit that they don't want you to heal. So, comfrey is good. It's very healing to like burns, wounds. Um, Marshmallow root also very good for the stomach, the gut. It's got stuff called mucilage in it, kind of like the snotty consistency, which is very good for the intestines, for leaky gut. Aloe vera is very good for that as well. I've been drinking every day here. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. Sauna too. Um, I've been doing a sauna about twice a week here when it's available. Not even actually, but I should be. Back home, I was doing a lot more saunas. I have my own sauna back home. So I've been feeling better since my last video, for sure. I'm very spacey and tired and groggy right now, but I've been having, in terms of my stomach with the giardia, things have been a lot better in terms of that. I've been having some pretty crazy die off. Those of you who don't know, it's when you're killing fungus and bacteria and things in your body that don't need to be there, and they release a bunch of toxins which get into your bloodstream, make you tired, foggy, like wide range of symptoms, anything. My testicles are really sore yesterday, better today, but just like symptoms just pop up when you're doing an intense detox. You will for sure have run into detox symptoms or a healing crisis or a Herxheimer reaction. There's many names for this, but it's when the body is releasing more toxins than it can eliminate. It can't eliminate them at the same rate as the body's releasing them, so it creates a buildup, and then provokes all these symptoms. So, and that could range from like anything cold and flu like symptoms to brain fog, fatigue. If you have an illness like Lyme disease, whatever symptoms you normally have will flare during these healing crises, will become worse. So, along this whole process, it's not a linear process. You don't get better like one day at a time, or like, each consecutive day you're feeling a little better. No, I mean you will crash at first if you dive into this as fast as I did. I was in an urgent situation, so even if you're taking a little slower, expect some symptoms. Don't expect to be healed overnight. You have to go through some pain and suffering. It took. I still have symptoms that are worse than before I started healing my Lyme, like fatigue and stuff, because I'm actually healing it. I'm going through the process of detoxification, of healing, and that will usually, you'll go down first. everything will get worse that you're trying to get rid of because it's all coming out. And then you'll go up a little bit, you'll start to level out, but the whole way is going to be a a wavy up and down process. And there's like an Indian Native American saying, white man medicine makes him better, good, like better first, bad later. And Indian man medicine makes you worse first, better later. So, anyways, things get worse before they get better. That's all I'm trying to say. Mm. Okay, so now I'm kind of up to the present day. Let's start talking about what's going on here in Peru. Um, so, what's today? I met with a shaman, or I don't know if he calls himself a shaman, but a healer, curandero. He um, he works with one of the plants that he works with is wachuma, or San Pedro cactus. So I had a little meeting with him to kind of like a consultation, go over some stuff. He wanted to check me out, check my frequency and my current state, kind of assess me, see what I need for my healing. Um, so I am going to have a ceremony with him tomorrow. I'm not going to drink any medicine, no San Pedro. He wants to do two sessions with me before giving me medicine, where he's going to put me into a trance and do some energy work and just do some of his magic. He told me that when I asked him that I have an implant in my aura, like a energetic attachment that is attached to me. He said it's like a spider-like entity that is wrapped around my back, which kind of makes sense since I have really bad back problems. That's a lot where the lymph is congested, and there's a lot of I just got a really messed up back. So, hopefully tomorrow when I see him, it's going to be like an hour. I think he said an hour session. Um, he can maybe clear some of these things out of me. Um, I really liked the guy. I've been very particular about who I want to work with here. I've been shopping around, seeing who's available, and I've just got a really good feeling from this guy. He was able to help someone that I met here who I um, felt that I really related to, um, clear a lot of stuff out of past lives and bring a lot of dark stuff to this man's awareness that was holding him back from his full potential and healing. So, anyways, hopefully this guy will be able to help me. I've been kind of frustrated, not frustrated, but I've been trying to drink Wachuma for a while with different people, and a lot of things have come up with certain people decided not to work with or canceled on me. So I think it's all meant to be. I wasn't ready at the time. I was sick a lot of the times of those days we had scheduled. So, um, anyways, I've been kind of feeling like this sense of urgency, like, oh, I need to start working with the plants. But there's a lot of other things I've been dealing with here, and just breaking this fast, starting to eat again, learning how to take care of myself. I hadn't really been fully taking care of myself for a long time until here now on my own. I have to do all my own shopping, grocery shopping, cooking, and it's for someone in my state, it's a lot to take on. So, um, one step at a time. I'm trying to tell myself to not rush into anything. I tend to kind of push myself to extremes, hold myself to a standard that I need to do like the most extreme hardcore shit ever, and I don't. That's not what I need to do. So, so anyways, that what in the future I'm what's next to my healing will be, some work with the plant medicines though. Um, I'm going to start with Wachuma, which is the San Pedro cactus. Do that a few times, and then maybe start working with some ayahuasca. Kind of feel out which medicine or both that I want to work with more, which is more appropriate for my healing and my growth as a person. Um, so I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about? I did a combo a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is a frog medicine. It's the a poison from the certain frog here in the Amazon, um, which makes you. It's a purge. It's very short. You get burned with the poison. You drink 2 liters of water on an empty stomach, and it makes you throw up. And this is very good for the immune system. It's helped a lot of people with Lyme, especially. The immune system, the nervous system. It's supposed to sharpen the senses, be good for clearing energetic stuff, entity attachments, just negative thought patterns, um, all sorts of low frequency states like anxiety and depression. A lot of things on that level it is good for too. Um, so it's a pretty intense experience. After you get burned with the poison, your heart rate shoots up very high, like higher than you probably ever experienced, and then you start throwing up. But it's over within 30 minutes, and I have a picture. Your face gets all puffed up, like you literally look like a frog after you do it. Your lips are swollen. I got this really cool painting of these like frogs. I'm sure it's inspired from Combo. It's in the other room. So I plan on doing more of that. I have 4 months left here, so get in at least a few more sessions of that. I think that should be good for this video. Maybe in the next one I'll talk about some of the things that I have come to my awareness that may have been preventing me from healing. Like ways of thinking, certain pressures that I've put on myself, and more things of that sort. Maybe I'll talk about stuff like that. But this video is almost at 50 minutes, and I'm very tired and just kind of want to relax. So thanks for checking in. Adios.